So here's the newest broiler chicken build. And as you what's up, everybody? Here we are again for another episode of Meat Chickens in the Desert. Now this is the start of week 3 for these meat birds, and I have expanded their brooding area so that they have more room to roam. Also, we have lost the marbles in the waters. They have worked past the I want to drown myself stage and moved on to, oh, I'm just going to drink this and be completely content with that stage. So as you can see, the area, I used to have their feeder up on this wall here, which gave them that little bit of an area right there. So now we've extended it out again, which we will extend it out before we're done one more time. We're right there behind where the hi boy is standing, to this last post here, which will put the feeder right in front of this door and give them this entire area to roam. So I did this because, well, if you notice, they're getting bigger. They're not my little baby chicks anymore. They're starting to get their wings feathered out, and they're starting to get curious on what everything is. Well, he might come check out the camera, but I doubt it. But as you can see, they're kind of just hanging out under the heat lamps right now. I've been trying all weekend to wait for a good day to do a video, because believe it or not, in the desert, it's been kind of a crappy weekend. We went to my sister-in-law's college graduation on Friday and got rained out. I went to go and butcher out some of our meat rabbits yesterday and got rained out. And today we had grand plans for Mother's Day of doing a nice picnic lunch at the park, but again, we got rained out. So this is probably the best I'm going to be able to do this weekend for you. But as you can see, the meat birds are doing fine. We have extended their area, put some fresh bedding down. Now with the birds, I recommend we try to, since we're doing a deep letter method, we try to take this little tool we have right here, this little garden claw, and just stir up the material to try and get some of the material, the dirty stuff to the bottom and the fresher stuff on top. It also helps to fluff it out because they kind of compress it a lot, and well, that's how we do it. We don't have any smell in here, we don't have any flies in here, and everybody seems to be doing alright. We have lost a couple more for unknown reasons. We just come out and they're lying there, so I don't know what's going on with that. But as you can see, they've got more than enough room to be birds and do what birds do. I've seen people on YouTube take a building like this and run 100 birds in it and have zero issues all the time with them. Now I'm only running 50. Well, I think we're down to 44, 43. And yeah, it's the desert. It's hard to sustain things out here, but we're doing good. We got way more than what we actually needed, so we do have a built-in loss rate already. And this week I need to put the door on this feeder because, again, they're 3 weeks old, so they are way past the 24-hour feed mark, and they are graduating up to the 12 hours on, 12 hours off mark. So I'll put a little door on here that I can close and block off this entire feeder to them at night, and then open it in the morning, make sure it's full, and just make sure they're getting plenty to eat, plenty of water. We've got, what are those, Gage? 2-gallon waters? 1 gallon?
I think so, $2.
We got 2 of these possibly 2-gallon waters for them, plus this big old 3-gallon water for them. And as they get bigger, I will end up putting the 7-gallon water in here for them, because they do go through a lot of water. I mean, that one there, I filled up yesterday, and it's just under half full. This one's still full. That one's still over half full. So it looks like they're favoring that one for some reason. I don't know why they're picking one over the other, but yeah, so there's week 3 on our meat birds. And if you come with me, I think the wind isn't too bad. I want to show you our Rhode Island Reds that we got. We're doing an experiment with them to see if they're going to be pretty good a meat bird substitute, in case, you know, I decide to get out of the Cornish. But these guys, they're getting big. These guys are a couple weeks older than the Cornish, and they're already fully feathered out. So we're going to do an experiment to see just how big these Rhode Islands will get. And then, oh yeah, that reminds me, I didn't tell you guys. There's our turkey mama. And if you look closely under her, she hatched out 4 baby turkeys. So that's exciting. We're letting her in here with the chicks so that they can not be attacked by the rest of the brood in the hen house. For some reason, our hens like to peck new things to figure out what they are. And we don't want to deal with that right now. I mean, we have 4. She's been doing it all herself. No heat lamps. None of that mess that I have to do with the Cornish. So that's kind of what we're working towards, is finding a breed like these Rhode Islands. If they're a pretty good meat breed, we're going to end up stopping the brooding of the Cornishes and take these girls, put about 10 of them in the meat pen with a rooster, and just let them breed. And as they grow out, we will make them dinner, basically. Hopefully eliminate having to do 50 to 60 of them at a time, to just doing maybe 3 or 4 every couple of weeks for what we need to sustain ourselves and this guy.
Hi.
Yep, that's the catchphrase. You want to say anything else other than hi?
Hi.
No, nothing else. You're 13 years old, and that's all you want to say is hi. You don't want to talk about what you're doing with your rabbits and your 4-H, and you don't want to tell people how you actually managed to train a rabbit to walk on a leash, which I didn't even think was possible, but somehow you got this rabbit to do it.
It's actually not that hard. Just put a leash on a rabbit.
Okay, thank you for your tutelage and your insightful information to help others put a leash on a rabbit.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a video about how to do it eventually in the future once I buy my own camera.
Yeah, well, goals to work towards.
Yes.
So, got one more thing to show you guys, because everybody keeps asking how to grow stuff in the desert on other pages I'm subscribed to, and so I'm going to show you how I do things out here in the desert. Granted, this weekend it's been a little cloudy, rainy, but loud. But it's not normally like this. You see, the goats, they don't like water. They're hiding back in the house. Except for these brutes. Oh, nope, see? They're back there, hiding.
The only one that likes rain is Bean.
That's Biscuits.
Oh, Biscuit.
So yeah, these are our goats. He is a Nubian Boer cross. And he is a big boy. He's not even a year old yet. That's his daddy, who's just over a year old. And his mama is sticking her head out the door right there. She's a Nubian bower, and he's a Nubian bower. And so that's what him and his brother are Nubian bower crosses. Now, they get to be a really good size, and that's why we have them on the homestead, because the mamas give us milk and babies. The babies we turn around and either sell when we don't need them, or we process them out to put meat in the freezer, and it's actually really good meat. I don't care what people say. They like to make stuff up, but I'm actually impressed with it. It's not all that bad. That needs to go inside your mama in the kitchen. And then over here, we have our American guinea hogs. Now everybody thinks that they're too small or whatever, but this breed right here gets to be about 200 pounds. As you can see, both these mamas had a pretty good litter. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 babies over there. So once they're weaned, we'll butcher out these 2 mamas and put them in the freezer, sell some of the babies, keep at least 2 of them for the next go round, and go from there. But it's really starting to rain, so let's go check out the gardens as I try to keep water off of my camera. Now, right now I'm doing raised beds, but my plan is to do a couple of experimental gardens in the ground. And I'll do some videos on how I do these beds, but these are my raised beds. These are my carrots, which you can see are doing great in the Arizona desert. These are probably right now about a foot tall, maybe a little bit more. My lettuce, believe it or not, we harvest a lot of lettuce out of here. And every time we do, I look at my wife, I'm like, we need to harvest lettuce. And she's like, I just did 2 grocery bags full. And I'm like, wow, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, if you're gonna do lettuce, even with 7 people eating it every day, lunch and dinner, this is too much lettuce. So, but I also have some corn in here, which we will see how that does. These ones seem to be doing really well with the lettuce. Lettuce kind of works kind of like a living mulch for all these other plants. This one was a volunteer. I don't know what it is. I know it's some type of squash.
I think it's a treehouse dog.
But I'm hoping it's not a birdhouse gourd, because Hi Boy decided to plant.
Hey, I didn't think that 200 seeds were gonna sprout.
100 seeds in one of my gardens last year, and it completely took over the whole bed over there, came out, took over the ground, and still ran up these trees to grow.
Hey, I was impressed. It was a pretty good harvest.
I wasn't impressed. It killed all my vegetables. So anyway, put vining plants with vining stuff and bushy plants with bushing stuff. Now here's another lettuce bed I did, which does really well. This also had some volunteer corn in it from the year before when Hi Boys killed everything. So yeah, what I do is, these are actually called hugel culture beds. So in the bottom of this bed, under all this dirt, it's lined with logs and rabbit manure and straw and cardboard all the way at the bottom to keep the weeds out. And then you put in your soil in top, which in Arizona, at least where I'm at, we have pretty strong clay-like soil, which you really need to learn to break it up and loosen it up. So what I do to get the soil to where you can put vegetables in it is I will get a bunch of this mulch, this really fine mulch, and we sift it, get all the rocks and big chunks out of there, and we take this and mix it 50% of this mulch, about 25% of this clay soil, and then another 25% of sand which my kids have a sand pit right there that I've been stealing their sand from. But if you look, there's plenty of dirt to dig all over here. So a little bit of sand ain't gonna kill them.
No.
So yeah, we do 50%, 25%, 25% mulch, dirt, sand. Plus I add perlite and gypsum to help break everything up and promote drainage. Now a couple weeks ago, was it a couple weeks, maybe a month ago?
I think it was a month we got this one done, and then a couple weeks we got those two done.
Yeah, so about a month ago, we had this bed done. We had 2 little cucumbers over there. Excuse me. They didn't make it. It got too hot too fast for them. So me and my daughter came out. She's 4 and loves to plant things. Well, we planted all these beans in here for her. And then she planted this bean at school and brought it home for us. Now this side died, but as you can see, it's coming back now. And then this one my other daughter did at school, and it was in a little styrofoam cup, and this thing's really taken off. And then back here we did national pickling cucumbers back there in a little ring for her. So this bed was pretty much completely done by a 4-year-old girl and my 6-year-old daughter. Her plant, 4-year-old's plants. They love gardening, so that's what we did. Now, after I mix in all that soil, and that soil mix I told you about, this is how it comes out. It's just nice. It doesn't really stick together. And then I'll put that in there. And before I put plants on it, I go and get, for this size barrel, I think it was 2 bags of mushroom compost from your local big box store. I got mine from Home Depot because that's all we have in town as far as that kind of stuff goes. And I just put these on top, and these plants really love it. That compost will leach down into the soil, do really well. Now I also did soil blocks. I got the idea from soil blocks off of YouTube from a couple different channels. I think Daniel Arms did them, Justin Rhodes did them, and I can't remember who else did them. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but I did them, and I tried them. And then when I tried them, they did good for about 4 hours, and then the dog jumped in them, smashed half of them. The cat jumped in them, smashed a couple more, and then in all of his wisdom, my son decided, I'm going to help out Dad. And to help me, he decided to smash the rest of them into a giant pile of dirt and seeds. So I had all my super hots in there, and if you grow peppers, you know what I'm talking about. I had all my super hots, I had my stuffing peppers, I had my jalapeno peppers, I had my bell peppers. I probably had 10 different varieties of pepper, over 100 some seeds in there, smashed up to one giant ball. And so I decided I had this empty trough, and guess what? I dumped the seeds in here, smoothed it all out on top, put the compost down on top of there, and figured we'll see what happens, we'll see if any of them come up. And as you can see, a lot of them have decided this is way better than those blocks, and started to pop up all over the place. So now, me not thinking they would grow, I went ahead and I planted on the porch in normal seed starting containers this time, so as not to be demolished. 216 super hot seeds, thinking I would have plenty of room to put what I wanted in the garden, sell off the rest. Now, again, I don't know how many are going to pop up. I'll try to keep you guys updated on that, but they were six cell trays, three sets of six. Yeah, 3 sets of 6 wide and 4 sets of 6 long. 3 seeds in each cell. You know, the normal, how you do it. Figured it out with a calculator because I'm not great at math. To 216 seeds that I have started up on the porch. And yeah, once they get ready to be transplanted, I will have to figure out where I'm going to stick them. So keep tuned because I might be doing another video on building another raised bed garden just so I have somewhere to put my super hots. And then this is the other little experiment we had because again, we're in the desert, we're new to this, we don't know what works out here and what doesn't. I've told you how my soil works out, I've told you the hugelkultur method I do, and so we decided I'm going to put tomatoes in just one trough, and we're just going to get one of each different variety that say are really good heat tolerant tomatoes that do well in the desert. And I didn't really expect much out of it because again, it's the desert, it's hot. I've got these things in full sun all day. I mean, they have some shade from this tree. They have the shade at night. I mean, this side of the house is open. That's what I got. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tomato plants in here and 2 pepper plants, which honestly, I lost. I can't find them. They're down in here somewhere. But the tomatoes are completely overtaking my peppers, and so I planted more over there. As you can see, this plants are doing really well. When I find the tags, I can show you guys the tags, but this plant here is doing great. It's getting big. It's already putting fruit on in multiple places. And this one, if I could find it, where's the tag? I left the tag in here. I know I did. I can't find it right now. So, I'll let you guys know what I find it, what this plant is. I mean, again, it's putting on fruit. Lots of fruit. Some of these, not so much. You can see this plant in the middle here. He's got a couple tomatoes on him. This one here didn't get real big, but he is putting on fruit, and he seems to be doing really well. I still have to come in here and trim these up, but this guy here is a husky cherry red. I don't know if you guys can see that. A husky cherry red tomato. So he does good in the desert. He doesn't get quite so big as these monsters around here, but he does pretty good. This one here, you know, he's a little bit bigger, and I see 1 fruit on him so far. But again, there's a giant ball of green in this. So before you all bag on me and tell me I put too many tomatoes in here, I know, I went overboard. But again, it's an experiment. So when it's time to harvest, I'm going to see which one of these plants gives out the best harvest. And I know it's going to be kind of diluted with being so close and so fighting for water and sunlight and everything else. It'll be a little diluted, but still the best plants would still put out the best harvest when I limit this down to maybe 4 to 5 plants in this trough, because at that point they'll have plenty of room, plenty of sun, plenty of airflow, plenty of everything. But next weekend I am going to come out here and start trimming these, because I do have to get them pruned up for to help them out. Yeah, so that's my tomato gardens and my lettuce patch and my bean plants. These are all bush, Blue Lake bush beans. That one is an unknown because it came from my daughter's school. unknown from the daughter's school. National pickling cucumbers. I got 2 bell peppers right there, and super hots. All super hots, except those 2. But I'm thinking when these plants get big, they'll cross-pollinate, and I will have some nice, super hot bell peppers, which will be awesome. Love super hots. I am the only one in the family that does. So, yes, my kids think I'm crazy. My wife thinks I'm crazy. But,
Well, I use duckies.
yeah, this one here sometimes tells me ketchup is too spicy for him. So, that's my video. As you can see, we do a lot of these raised bed deals. This one's here got some onions and potatoes in it. This was asparagus, but the kids have thrown some various seeds in here, so it's kind of like a Mod Podge deal. This is all herbs that we've been doing. All these herbs have been keeping with us for quite a many year now.
And we stored them like
they haven't died off yet. There's my mint, spearmint. Now that's my spearmint. This is my oregano, I believe. Nice rosemary. This might be thyme. I'm not sure. But we got sage. We have sage too. That's grown over there with the carrots because they like to be together. Another good plant that grows well out here are these. My wife grows these. She loves them. They're called moringa trees. Now, these trees are supposed to be like a wonder tree. Everything about them is 100% edible for everybody and everything out there. It's really good to have on hand because, you know, when the leaves fall, the goats eat them. You know, when you go to bring the trees down, the bark, the leaves, the seeds, you know, chickens, goats, pigs, everything will eat these. You can make a salad out of the leaves on these things and eat them. You know, these are just a good homestead, desert homestead tree. They grow quick, very quick, and very fast. Oh look, we have another helper on the homestead.
Hi, Dad.
You want to say hi to everybody in YouTube land? Say hi to the whole lot of friends that are following us.
Hi, Xander.
I don't know who Xander is, but...
AKA, Xander is whole boyfriend.
Yeah, she's
Actually,
too young for a
my
boyfriend.
boyfriend is Betty.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
So what kind of bean plant did you plant in school that we put in the garden over there?
A Jack in the Beanstalk one.
A Jack in the Beanstalk one. So
Yeah.
we're going to have a giant beanstalk into the sky.
Does not say there's a giant.
Are you going to go up there and grab me that golden goose so that I ain't got to work so much anymore?
No, Dad. It's just a story.
It's just a story.
Yes.
Don't fall off your mama's truck. She'll be quite mad about that.
Don't worry, she didn't trust fall.
So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. And we're going to say goodbye to everybody in YouTube land. Thanks for watching us. You know, be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Wholelotta Homestead. It's kind of our deal for everything. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, obviously on YouTube. And we will catch you next week on the 4th episode of Raising Meat Birds in the Desert. So, there you go, guys. Say goodbye to our friends.
Bye!
See you again.
See her gum. Alright, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks.